Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Debbie Debonair bringing you tonight's webinar, How to Make Money Blogging. And sorry for the short delay, but someone had a last minute request for the webinar link, so I've had to give that out, so sorry about that. So we've got Rebecca, Amy, Heather, Hannah, Jerry, Chris, Munja, Ahmed, and I know we've got a few more coming on as well. So I wish to thank you all for being here and sharing this with me. And I know you will get a lot of value from what I'm going to share with you. And it should take round about 45 minutes because I don't want it to go on too long. And, you know, I hope you've got paper and pen and pencils handy because you'll want to take a lot of notes. And let's share screens with you and let's get this webinar on the road. So just bear with me and I will just share my screen with you. Okay, here we go. So let's get started. So you're here this evening, everyone, to hear how you can start making money blogging. So let's get started. Oh, just bear with me 1 second, folks. I've got someone else who has decided they want to get on as well. So I'll just send them the link. I will be 2 seconds. If you can just bear with me. Last minute stragglers we've got here. So I shall be 2 seconds. Just bear with me. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We're back. So yeah, we're back. So just bear with me and I shall share screens again and we will get started. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. And let's get going. So like I said, we are going to be showing you how to make money blogging. So pens and paper at the ready and off we go. So let's start off with what we will cover on today's webinar. We will cover why blogging, some statistics, the boring bit I'm going to get out of the way first, how to write a blog, what to write, keyword research, recap and tips, what to do with your post once published, guest blogging, further tips, how do we make the money recap, websites, and creating the blog. So why blog? Why should we blog? Blogging gives us a social presence. it gives you the strategy to be noticed on Facebook through the value of your blog. Gives not only your niche market, but also a wider market as friends share friends. So this is how it gives you a much bigger social presence. It gives businesses online a voice. It helps businesses to be heard across a wider audience that would not be covered without it. You know, lots of businesses in the past have given out flyers and had 10,000 flyers printed off. Blogging, basically, if you look at it from a business point of view, is your internet flyer. So you can reach so much more than 10,000 people. It creates a central hub, which gives businesses and individuals a place where they can send prospects who want to know more about them, about their company, and it allows you to keep your audience up to date with what's going on with your business, and if you've got offers or something of value to share with them. So it gives a central hub, creates a central hub. It also enables businesses and individuals to shine, to highlight their strengths and what they are good at. So that's why we should be blogging. Okay, so I'm going to just go through a few statistics just to give you an idea of how powerful blogging is on the internet. So 6.7 million people blog. 23% of the internet time is spent on blogs and social media. 77% of internet users read blogs. 81% of US consumers trust advice and info from blogs. Business-to-business marketers using blogs generate 67% more leads, which is really phenomenal. 61% of US consumers made a purchase based on a blog. 37% of marketers believe blogs are the most important type of content marketing. 70% of consumers learn more about a business from blogs than from ads, which was really quite interesting when I was doing my research. And 68.1% more tweets and 22.6% more Facebook. And small businesses that blog get 126% more lead growth. And those leads are what you get that you have, you are able to then connect with, and those leads potentially can become customers and therefore potentially make you the money. So let's look at the types of bloggers. There are 5 types of bloggers. There's the part-time blogger. There is the hobbyist. So sorry, the part-time blogger who uses blogging to supplement their income. Then we have the hobbyist who blogs for fun, not for money. We then have the full-time professional blogger, and basically blogging is their full-time job. We have the corporate blogger who blogs as part of their full-time job. And then we have the entrepreneur who blogs for the business that they own. So let's just have a look at a few statistics to do with the types of bloggers, which I found really interesting and thought I would share with you before we get into the meatiness of the webinar. So if you look at number 1 and number 4, who are the part-time bloggers and the corporate bloggers, 70% blog to share expertise, 61% blog to gain professional recognition, and 52% blog to attract new clients. Bloggers 3 and 5, who are your full-time professional bloggers and your entrepreneurial bloggers, and they 76% of them blog to share expertise, 70% blog to gain professional recognition, and 68% blog to attract new clients. So you can see the value that blogging has for entrepreneurs, businesses, individuals. So it is a huge strategy to use. So how to write a blog. Planning. It's very, very important that we plan, that we look at the headline and the title. Whoops. Go back. Sorry about that, folks. We look at the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion, and your CTA, which is a call to action. So let's look at those a little bit more individually. Planning. When you are planning, you must have your end goal in mind. What point do you want to get across? What lesson are you trying to teach to get across to people? What are you trying to achieve? What's the reason for your post? You know, list your points to make sure that you don't miss any of them. And what is your outcome? So the planning, you've got brainstorming the headline, introduction, bullet point your body, fill your body, your conclusion, which includes your call to action, and part of your planning is looking at publishing your blog. Do you publish it straight away, or do you schedule it for publishing? Emailing your list, posting to social media, emailing links in the body, which I'll go into more detail later, revamp, which again I'll go into much more detail later. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each one of these in a little bit more depth. So your end goal, looking at what you want to achieve, looking at what point you want to get across, as I said earlier, and you know, so that you don't miss any of your points that you want to get across, make a list of them. And what is your outcome? What do you want people to learn, and what do you want people to do next? That's really vital and really, really important. So now we're getting down to the actual writing of the blog. So we're going to look at headlines, and there are some important things. You wouldn't think that what there are, but there are some important things you need to know and understand about your headline and why it is actually important to brainstorm it. So your headline. You need an enticing headline. And to get an enticing headline, that's why it's best to mind map it or brainstorm it, and brainstorm it with someone else. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your own. Use power words, things like shocking, enticing, and we'll go into more words later on, but it's to grab the attention of your reader. You should have no less than 7 points in your title. And what I mean by that is, don't have a headline that says 3 ways to bath a baby, okay? Because, it's not gripping enough. It's not going to give you a long enough post. So research has shown that anything less than 7 points doesn't actually get your blog post ranked very high. So anywhere between 7 and 101 gives strength to your post. So for example, when we're talking about the power words, you can have something like 11 enticing ways to introduce your blog post. So it's kind of like a cliffhanger scenario that you're giving to people. In your title, try and have an odd number of words. 7 words, 9 words, but nothing too lengthy, because the impact gets lost if it's too lengthy. And try and make it 65 characters, odd number of characters, odd number of words. It's just what's proving to rank highly on Google. And make sure that you put in your keyword in your title. So, for instance, if you are writing a blog post, let's say about bathing a baby, okay, your keywords and your keyword and your longer keyword phrases are baby, bath, how to bath a baby. Okay, so it's looking at those. We'll go into keywords, not in a great detail, but in further detail later on. So that's your headline. Now let's go and look in at the introduction. The best way to start your introduction is with questions. And the reason for this is it's immediately getting your reader involved in your blog post. Your intro should be no less than 2 short paragraphs and no more than 3 short paragraphs, and as short as 1 to 2 sentences and no more than 6 sentences. You need to use you and I. And the reason for this, again, it creates interaction with your audience, with your reader, because you're actually speaking to them, and asking them a question, and the interaction is so much easier when you use the you and the I. End your introduction with a smooth transition so that it goes from the introduction into the main body. And if you can, link it to yourself, give it the personal touch. For example, you might be doing something like 10 ways personal development helped me succeed. Okay, so you've asked a question, and it could be something like, how often do you use personal development in your life? What kind of personal development techniques do you use? I use X, Y, and Z. And then the transition could be something like, in order to show you how personal development helped me in my life, let's look at the 10 ways personal development helped me, or something like that. Okay, so it's just giving you an idea. So that's your introduction. And your introduction should only take you 5 minutes to write, because don't forget, you've done a lot of it in your planning. So the actual writing of it should only take 5 minutes. The body, you'll find, will take probably the most length of time. So the body. Use subheadings, and your subheadings should include your keywords. They should have 1 to 2 paragraphs after each subheading, and don't use hashtags in your subheadings. So, for instance, if it is how I use personal development #1, don't use #1 as #1. Just put 1. Okay. Google don't like the use of the hashtags in this particular scenario. Use heading sizes such as H1, H2, and H3. Now, what you'll find is heading 1 will be in your title automatically, depending on the blogging system that you're using. And just make sure that your heading size is bigger than the font that you're using for the following text. There is no preferred text size, just make it readable, make it comfortable on the eye for the person, your audience that you want to read it. When you are writing the body, you want to be educating, informing and engaging your audience. You need to be descriptive and go above and beyond what the reader, the value that you're going to be giving to the reader. Go above and beyond. Be thorough in what you are trying to teach, what you're trying to get across. You know, be really thorough in what you're trying to do. And break down the rights and wrongs where appropriate, if what you are relaying gives you that opportunity. Because what that does is it gives someone the opportunity to interact, so that you know, you are discussing the rights and wrongs of something and they may disagree with you, and that gives them the interaction to comment on your blog and give their point of view. Be conversant, and this is where you use the questions, where you use the you, where you use the I, and this helps with the interaction of your reader by creating a conversation. And you know, when you're writing, kind of pretending that you're actually speaking to someone. And use examples of people who have done whatever it is you're writing about, how they have done it, and what their outcomes are. And if it allows, use data and statistics where appropriate. But you know, don't kind of bog people down with just too many statistics, because you'll kind of lose your reader. Furthermore, use call to actions throughout your post. Now, your call to action could be sending someone to an article to read, sending them to a video to watch, be it a business opportunity or just, you know, it could be a personal development video that's, you know, talking about that theme. You know, or it could be, as I say, to your opportunity. And the rule of thumb is to have one call to action per 333 words, and make sure that your call to action matches what it is you're writing about. That's really, really important. Don't go off on it, you know, don't stick a call to action in there that has got nothing to do with what you're writing just because you want somebody to go and see your opportunity. If it doesn't fit and it doesn't link with what you're writing about, don't put it in. In content links. Now, in content links, I'm going to actually go into in more detail further on in the webinar. But what I want to say to you here is that when you put links within the body of your post, and it is a link to a webinar, a business opportunity, it could be an ebook you're selling or a product that you're selling, you get a much higher conversion rate in an in-content link than you do from a banner down the side of your blog. So just so that I want you to be aware of that. But as I say, I'm going to go into in-content links in a bit further detail because I think it needs explaining and clarifying, and how you can get more traffic through doing in-content links. So we'll do that further on. Use videos and images in your posts. Videos and images get your post much highly ranked, and people interact with them more when they see videos and images. And when you are putting videos and images on, make sure that you link them to your URL. Now, whether that's the URL of your blog site or your opportunity site, it's entirely up to you what you want to link it to, but make sure it's linked to something, because if it's not, you're actually missing out on another avenue to collect leads. So link your post to another post in your niche that you have read and learned from. So for instance, if you are talking about personal development and you have read another blog post somewhere else that really inspired you, taught you something, link to it in your post. And that will actually get you more traffic, because you'll get the traffic from people who's reading that post, and you kind of like you help each other and get more traffic. The same rule of thumb applies, that you do one link per 333 words, so that you know you're not bombarding people with them. And most importantly, when you are writing your post to, help someone's pain, help someone's problem, or help someone in their passion, make sure that what you're writing has the solution of what their problem, passion, and pain is. And you'll find that by researching your niche. You'll know the needs of your audience. Now, there are some body don'ts. There's only a couple. And they are, please do not be opinionated when you're writing your posts, because you'll just turn your readers straight off. And the other one is, don't use too much storytelling. It's more a conversation, but a descriptive conversation. You can use a little bit of storytelling, but not too much, because again, your reader will switch off. So that's the main outline of how to construct the body of your blog post. So now let's look at the conclusion and the call to action. Excuse me. So when you write your conclusion, you must keep in mind the way readers read blog posts. And how they read blog posts is like this. They read the title, they read the introduction, and then they read the conclusion before they get to the body. So with this in mind, your conclusion should summarize the body of your post, be attractive, and have value in it, so that it entices your reader to read the rest of your blog post. And then your blog post needs to end with a call to action. For example, how would you like to make money blogging too? Then click here, fill in your details, and I will contact you soon. Basically, don't use a generic call to action if possible. Ask a question in your call to action and tailor your call to action to what you've written your blog post about. Hence why I've put that little example there. What you also need to remember is not to put your call to action in bold. If you want it to stand out, put it in italics, but don't put it in bold. It seems to have more interaction when it's in italics. So the main crux, what on earth, Debbie, shall I write about? I don't know where to start. So let's give you some areas where you can find information from. Write about what you're passionate about. You don't need to be an expert. on what you're passionate about, because you'll be doing your research when you do your writing. You know, there's Amy Allen Parr, who blogs every single day. Her passion is fitness, and she blogs every day on fitness, and her niche is personal trainers. And through her blogging on fitness to that niche, she is making a phenomenal amount of money. And you know, that's her passion. And there are other people, you know, too many to mention, but I just wanted to mention someone to you so that you know that it actually does work. You can write about your niche. Research your niche and see what people are blogging about successfully. So, you know, search your niche on Google, look at blogs, see what's blogging successfully, see what's getting a lot of traffic, a lot of hits, and blog about it. You know, blog about the same types of blogs, but obviously don't copy somebody else's blog. Now, some people say niche and target market are one and the same thing, which is absolutely fine. So write about what people are searching for in your niche. So basically, you really need to know your target market, how they're thinking, what they would put into the search engine to find out information. You know, so really research your target market. If you use some kind of software or service, then, you know, write a review about it, compare two different things. For example, compare two autoresponders like GetResponse and Aweber, you know, pros and cons on both, and you can write about that. Or, you know, if your niche is personal development, compare one personal development technique with another personal development technique, etc., etc. You know, you can also share insider tips. You know, so if your business or you as an individual use a certain thing and it's worked well, and you want to share what's worked for you and how it's worked for you, share that in a blog post. You know, you can literally write about anything and everything. And the last one is something called Top 100, and I'm going to go into that in more detail here. It's about researching on the internet. Say, for instance, your niche was wellness, okay? So you are going to write a blog about the top 100 wellness blogs on the internet. So what you would do is you would put that in the search engine of Google, and you would research wellness blogs. And out of all those wellness blogs, you would choose 100 wellness blogs that you are going to write about. So the 1 to 100 are your little subheadings. Okay, so number 1, whatever that wellness blog's titled, number 2, whatever that. And under each one, you're going to write a little bit of description about each one, you know. But what you need to do is make sure that you note down that it is a random 1 to 100. It's not in a specific order. Or what you could do is you could look at their ranking on Alexa ranking and rank them in order of Alexa ranking. As long as you note at the end of the 1 to 100 that it's either a random list or it's ranked by Alexa, or however you rank it, so that somebody doesn't think the number 1 and somebody doesn't think the number 100. You know, it's not done in any specific order. That's really, really important. And a couple of things that you can do to boost your traffic by doing the top 100. Now think about it, you've got 100 blogs that you can get traffic from. And the way you can do that is you can go to fiverr.com and get someone to make a badge for you for the top 100 wellness blogs. Okay. And then if you go on to StumbleUpon, and for $10, they will drive 1,000 clicks to your blog post. And this will put you on the other people's Google Analytics, which I'll talk about later. And then what you need to do is you need to email each of the 100 authors that you've chosen in your top 100. And I've got a little bit of a template here, which I'll talk you through. So basically in the subject line, you'd put, top 100 wellness blogs. And then in the body, words to this effect. Because you have done so well, you have been included in my top 100 wellness blogs on the internet. Blah, blah, blah. Yours sincerely, da, 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 da. Not yours sincerely, but, finish it off the way you would, And in the PS, put, feel free to share and tweet. So you then put the link to your blog of your top 100. Then PPS, I have created a badge for you, which is attached. And what that will do is that top 100 badge, they'd actually use on their blog page so that it gives them a bit of credibility. So you're kind of like boosting them up at the same time as boosting traffic to your blog post. So if this gains you and them traffic, it gives you traction. You'll probably find 5 to 6 will link back to you. Okay, so that link back will get you traffic. But the one thing I need to stress is to make sure that you have already written at least 2 to 3 blog posts before you write this type of post. But it's a post that you can write once a month if you want to, or once every 2 months or whatever. And it just gives you credibility. It gives you an authority because you are going out there and basically projecting other people's blog posts. You can also find content on websites, which I have put at the very end of this presentation, which we'll go through. If you have the Collatu blogging platform system, you can find blogging ideas in the resource tab. There are some phenomenal resources for content for your blog posts in there. And also, if you have that, you can also carry out the 21-day blogging challenge, which is really useful if you've never blogged before, because you ask them for a title. They'll help you do the subheadings. They'll show you how to insert an image, insert a video, etc. So that's just another way. And details of the Collatu blogging platform are also at the end of the presentation. So that just gives you a bit of insight into what you can write about, and where you'll see by the websites where you'll get other information from to give you ideas to write about. Now, we're going to quickly look at keyword research. I'm not going to go into it in great depth because keyword research is quite time consuming, and this isn't really what this webinar is about, but I'm just going to kind of scratch the surface. Now, some people say, yes, you should do keywords research, and some people say no. But what I would say is that if you are writing a blog of 2,000 plus words, it's not necessary to do a keyword research, because you are actually going to cover your keyword within the 2,000 plus words. So it's not so much of an issue. But if you do go into the keyword research, one of the good ways of doing it is through Google Keyword Search, Google Planner. And when you go into that and you put your keyword in, or what you're looking for, you're searching for a keyword, so you would put in what you were going to be writing your blog about. When you click on the search, there's kind of panels come down, and you want to look at the words and phrases that are between 200 and 8,000. You'll see it's kind of like, people, or how many people search that word. And then what you want to do is take at least 3 words and put them into Google search engine. Scroll down to the bottom, and if you can remember, when you scroll down to the bottom of your Google page, they have further searches. Those further searches at the bottom are again keywords, keyword phrases, further words that you can use to write a blog post about. And by doing that, this could give you 30 to 50 different keywords that will give you content for a couple of weeks. So it's worth looking at it if it's a way of getting content, or if you do decide that you want to do keyword research. So as I said, that's just tipping the tip of the iceberg, just touching the tip of the iceberg on keyword research. Just when you are doing it, just think about what you would search in your niche if you were searching yourself. What words would you use? And this gives you a starting point. Now, what I'm going to do, because I've covered quite a lot there, I'm just going to give you a quick recap and add a couple of a little bit more information into each, but it's recapping on what I've just spoken about, just so that you don't miss anything, and it's basically how to get an avalanche of leads to your blog. So we're going to just slightly recap on everything. So the main thing is, know your target market, know your customers, know where to find them. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they on YouTube? Are they on LinkedIn? Where would I find them on Facebook? Where would I find them on Twitter? Where would I find them on Google? So really know your target market. Don't be afraid to teach in your blog posts, because that teaching that you're doing, could just give a person exactly what it is they're looking for. So don't be afraid to teach. Create a conversation. Google loves social engagement and the use of you and I. And because of that, your blog will be ranked higher. If it's conversational, social engagement, the use of you and I. Use 3 to 5 headings in your blog, each one, header 1, header 2, header 3, 3 to 5 paragraphs under each heading. Make your format easy to read. And something to remember, is write a long blog post. Now, when I first read this, I thought, well, nobody's going to read a long blog post. Obviously, the shorter, the better. But then on further research, I actually found that the most blogs that are ranked on page 1 of Google contain 2,100 to 5,000 words. So you are going to get more interaction if you write a longer blog post. And also, something to really remember is this. It's kind of the 80-20 rule. 80% of people read headers and conclusions. 20% of those read the whole post. So keep that in mind when you're writing, okay? Your headline is everything. because it's the first thing your reader's going to see. Use odd number of words, negative words, as they get best click-through rates. Keep headline characters to 65. This actually gives you best SEO, which is search engine optimization. Use Google results at the bottom of the search page for long keyword ideas. Match your headline to your content. Avoid using words that have multiple meanings or deceptive meanings. Use power words in your headline and content, and interesting phrases in your content too. Things like effortless, incredible, phenomenal, explosive, 27 shocking facts, etc., etc. Now, comments. How are you going to get people to comment on your post? Well, if anyone does comment on your post, always comment back, because that then starts another conversation, because they may then comment back to you, and you can comment back, and other people seeing your post can see people have commented, etc., etc. Don't delete negative comments, because what those negative comments will do, again, will spark a conversation, and not necessarily between you and the person who's commented, but it could kick off a conversation between two other people who have commented on your post. So, don't get rid of negative comments. Excuse me. Ask questions at the end of your post. Ask them to comment and share. There's no harm in that. Just ask them to comment and share. When you use the you and the I when you're commenting on other people's posts, it's really imperative that you do comment on other people's posts, because that way they see you commenting on theirs, and if you put your URL back to your blog site, you are then encouraging them to comment on yours, so you're getting another lead, and they're seeing what other people are reading. And kill them with kindness. Don't be over exuberant in it, but just be kill with kindness, because that's exactly what you want in return. And as I say, at the bottom of your comment, put your URL, and you've got the chance of them then commenting back on one of your posts. It's all about thinking outside of the box, where you can get all these leads from that you can then start interacting with, that you can then turn into customers, which then helps you to make money blogging. So now let's have a look at the distribution of your blog post and how to drive traffic. So once you've written your blog post and you have either scheduled it or to publish, and it's been published, what do you do next once it has been published? Because if you just write your blog post and publish it and leave it at that, your blog post is wasted. Okay, so it's what you need to do with it once you have published it. Social media. The research has shown that Facebook and Twitter are the best for driving traffic to your blog and to your blog posts. Add each member in your team, if you have a team, if you're part of a business that has a team, or surrounding teams, as friends on Facebook, and comment and share on their blog posts and on their social media posts, because this will bring you more traffic. For example, 2,000 friends can drive 200 to 500 visitors to your blog as long as your friends are those interested in blogging. So obviously, you know your friends better than anyone else, you know, but as you are bringing friends on board and you're getting to know them, you'll know whether those are the ones that you would need to send your blog to. So don't just post your blog post on your wall, you know, make it open to other areas on social media as well, which I'll go into in a second. Twitter. Now with Twitter, you can use something called just unfollow to add friends, 200 to 300 per day, and follow people who follow people you already follow. It just means they're in the same, they're more than likely to have the same interests as you. Now, 80 to 90% of them won't follow you back. So what you would then need to do is unfollow them a couple of weeks later, but don't unfollow them all at once, otherwise your Twitter account will get suspended. But if you look at the statistics of 5,000 to 10,000 Twitter followers can get you 500 visitors to your blog post. Timing for social media is crucial. We all know people are on at weekends, but actually through the day is a crucial time to start posting your blog posts, despite the fact that people are at work. Believe it or not, a lot of them spend time on Facebook or Twitter. When you are posting your blog post to social media and putting a little piece of text, you know, above it, it's actually better than a question relating to your blog post. You know, rather than say, you know, please read and share, comment, share, whatever. Be more controversial, you know, depending on what the title is of your blog. It just, when you find controversial posts are interacted with more than any other post on Facebook, it has been suggested. Now, if you want access to the Twitter formula and the Facebook formula that I use to, you know, find friends and followers and get more leads, please message me on Facebook or get in touch with me on Skype. The details are on a slide at the end. It is really, really imperative that you email your lists. If you don't email your list with your recent blog post, you are missing out big style, because all those on your email list could share them with someone else that they know and someone else that they know, you know, and it's widening your network and widening the scope of where you can then get extra leads from. So please email your lists with your blog posts. Variations. Now, this is what I meant by revamp earlier on. Create variations of your blog posts. And what I mean by that is, if in your blog post you have created a video that you yourself are on the video, post that video on video sites. Post it obviously on YouTube, putting the details and putting your link on YouTube to back to the blog, to your opportunity, whatever it is that you want the people watching it to actually go to. If you have done a video, pull off the audio from that video and then post that audio on audio sites. You know, it's all about thinking outside the box. Write an article, turn your blog post into an article. And normally what they say is it's 30% of your blog post you can make into an article, and put that onto forums, forums that accept articles. Turn your blog post into a PowerPoint presentation. Honestly, it is so easy to do. And you can then post it on something called SlideShare. And again, you're opening yourself up to another stream of people, to another set of leads that you can bring in to your lists. Then what you can do is you can turn your blog post into an ebook or a training manual. And what you can do with them, they can become a lead magnet. So you could create it into an email, into an ebook, and put a opt-in page on the front end so that they have to opt in to get your free ebook. And that way you are getting more leads. Another way. This will give you so many different sources of traffic, different sources of lead generation. And it's just a huge area that people miss out on. They just think, well, I've written a blog, that's it. But there is so much more in that blog that can earn you money. You just need to turn your blog into different variations. And another thing people miss out on greatly is on Facebook, there are a lot of blogging groups, syndication blogging groups. There's the 21-day challenge blogging group, but there are other, and there'll be blogging groups in your niche as well, but actually post them on groups in your niche. They don't necessarily have to be blogging groups, so if you are an internet marketer, post your blog post on internet marketing groups, and you'll get people liking them. And then that's another lead that you can then interact with. Just think way outside of the box. That's all I'm asking you to do. There's Messenger. With Facebook's logarithms nowadays, you never know what friends seeing what and who's going where and what have you. So why not post your blog post to all your friends via Messenger? Don't take the chance that they might not see it on your wall. There's no reason. They might say, you've posted it and they've got real great value from it. You might have the odd one that says, Debbie, I don't want you to send your blog posts to me, but thanks very much. Not everybody will like you to do it, but unless you try it, you don't know how many you're missing out on that can see what you've written, see what value you're giving to the marketplace, see what you have to offer at a particular time. A free book here, a free article there, or there might be a special offer on your opportunity. They just don't know unless they see your blog post. So don't miss out on Messenger. Pop-ups. Pop-ups, for those who have never done blogging or don't know anything about pop-ups, it is a way of getting people to sign up to your following blog posts. Now, me personally, when I'm reading someone else's blog, I get really frustrated if the pop-up comes up straight away when I'm just started to read something. So for me, I prefer pop-ups on exit. So when I'm kind of closing out of somebody's blog post, a pop-up will come up and it'll say, register so that you don't miss out on our future blog posts. And then you just put your name and your email address, and it's a way of collecting leads to another list, to your list. So they are a great source of lead generation and a source that a lot of people miss out on. Banner ads. Now, like I said earlier, they don't convert as much as in-content links, but don't disregard them. Put banner ads down the side of your blog page and at the footer, okay? Because there are inquisitive people and they want to see what's going on behind those banners. So don't miss out on them, okay? Video ads, again, down the side or however your blog's set out, put video ads and make sure at the end of your video that you have an opt-in page so that people can opt into whatever your video is selling, saying, sending them to. And it has research shown that it's better if your video isn't doesn't autoplay on your blog post. On other things, it works really well, like on your opportunity. When someone's signing into your opportunity, it works really well if they don't have to wait for it or they don't have to click on it. But the research has shown that videos as a video ad down the side panel is better if it's not autoplay. And obviously, you don't run the risk then of somebody going onto your blog post, the autoplay starting straight away, which then kind of detracts from them reading your blog post. So now I'm going to go further into what I was talking about earlier about links in your blog post, in the actual body of your blog post. So the links you've inserted that link back to a similar blog post in your niche, what you need to do is, once you've published your blog, is hit the author up via email, send them an email, show them some love, as they say, and you will get love back in return. And I have a little template again that you can use. In the subject line, say something like, "Hey, love you, ... And then just say hi and say, "It's actually a blog post I love." And, you know, give them the title of the blog post that you've read. And I linked you in my latest blog post, then give them the link to your blog post, and would be honored if you would read it, and would be especially honored if you could share it too. Thanks, your biggest fan, Debbie, or whatever your name is. Then PS, keep up with the good work with, so whatever their niche is, whatever their blog URL is about, you know, it's just, you're kind of boosting them up without being, you know, too kind of like sickly, if you know what I mean. But it's a way of then them going to your link, and that's how you get the traffic back. So you're actually interlinking with each other. Comment on each other's posts, but comment on the posts that have got good, high quality comments. Use your gravatar and stay in the niche market when you're commenting and putting on your URL, because there's no point you commenting on something, putting your URL on it if it's not in your niche, because it's being counterproductive for you. You know, so be aware of that. Next way to get a real good source of traffic is through guest blogging. And the best way to go forward in guest blogging is to find sites in your niche and choose 3 main blogs that you found in your niche. So for instance, if your niche takes on board the Huffington Post, Forbes and HubSpot, then you've chosen those 3, and then from each one of those, choose a guest blogger that you're going to interact with. So in effect, you're going to have 9 people that you're going to interact with. Email, using the same template as before for your links, but you're going to do it slightly different. You're going to say hi, obviously, and put in maybe the title of their blog or something in the subject line, and just say something like how much you have learned in their recent blog, and pick out a couple of points and give them feedback. Don't end your email with "I'm your biggest fan," because you're doing a different kind of exercise here. And then what you want to do is wait a week and then email them again with, you know, comments from another blog post. End with "PS, also tweeted your post," so that they know that you're sharing it. Then wait another week and say something like, you know, hopefully my feedback was useful for you and you enjoyed it. I would like to follow in your footsteps, and I have a question for you. Can you introduce me to your editors, please? More often than not, they will introduce you to the editors. And then what you then do is you get in touch with the editors and ask, can you be a guest blogger? And that's how you get into, that's the best practice of getting into guest blogging. A couple of other best practices is, not when you are actually at the point where you are guest blogging, is not to guest blog with a blog that you've already got on your blog page, because Google sees that as duplication. You can, however, say take a snippet from a blog post, say 100 words, put that into the guest blogging site, and then link it back to your original blog. Okay, so you can start off the blog as a brand new blog, put in what they call a block quote from another blog, and then send them, and then link them back to your, so you're actually linking them to your blog page as well. Right, I've got some extra tips for you to make sure that we have really covered every avenue to get you the most out of your posts. That will get you the more, you know, get the most avenues to get your leads, the leads that you can then interact with, that you can then have the opportunity to convert into customers, which will then get you the money that your blog has sent you, you know, given you the beginnings of. So it is suggested that you have around 50 posts to get a greater authoritative position on Google. That may sound a lot, but you'll be surprised if you're blogging every day, it's only 50 days, you know, so they're soon mental. You can modify and update an old post. This will give them social shares, interaction, and more backlinks. And you can update by, once you have modified and updated your old post, you can cross-link it into the post that you're writing, as long as the topic, the new topic you're writing about, and the old post's topic have something in common. And what it does, it is boosts the ranking, because your older post has more authoritative, more of an authoritative position. So you can interlink them, and make sure that when you are interlinking them, that you use relevant texts to cross-link them. So let's talk a little bit about Google Analytics. Again, Google Analytics is quite in depth, so I'm just going to scratch the surface of how you can, one of the ways you can use it to track how people are looking at your posts. So when you sign up to Google Analytics and you've logged in, click on traffic sources. Then click on search engines, and you'll be able to see the keywords that you are ranking for that particular blog post. And what you can then do with these keywords, you can then put those keywords into Google search engine. Again, scroll down to the bottom, get your related keywords, and you can actually, change your title and get it ranked again and ranked further up. And it gives you can also blend those new keywords that you found into your blog, and it gives them further ranking and helps you to build your traffic up and get your leads. Again, just scratching the surface on the keyword research, it's not always necessary, as I said earlier, especially if it's over 200 words. You don't have to bust a gut searching for your keywords and wasting time, as you will naturally use them and use the longer term keywords too, so just be aware of that. So this is what it's all about. So how do you make your money blogging? Well, through everything that I've discussed already. Okay, you can earn further money through being an affiliate of your blogging platform if the blogging platform you use has that facility. You can put affiliate links into your blog post or down your banners down the side of your blog. You can generate leads through your distribution of your blog posts, and your interaction, and that's how you make money blogging. Okay, so it's all about thinking outside of the box. Where can I get leads from? Where's my target market? And looking at other ways that you can link your blog post with, as I say, affiliate links, banners, and especially the blogging platform. If you're using the blogging platform, it's working for you, you're making money on it. Why wouldn't you want to share it with someone else to show them how to make money with it? Okay, and again with your affiliate links. So this is how you make money blogging. It may seem time consuming, but at the end of the day, it's a strategy to make money. Okay, so the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. See it as an income producing activity that you should be doing on a daily basis. And one of the things you can do, if you only blog part-time because you have a full-time job, you can actually do, say you decide, right, I've got nothing on Sunday, I'm just going to write 7 blog posts. You can write those 7 blog posts and schedule them for each day of the week instead of publishing them straight away. Okay, so there is a way around getting a blog out every day if you are tight for time. Another way is actually using your phone or your laptop that has a voice recognition, and you can speak your blog into your phone, laptop, and then just copy and paste it into your blog post. So there are ways around it, so don't think, oh my God, 2,000 words, it's too long, it's going to take too much time. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as a money making opportunity, which is what it is. So like I said earlier, these are some some sites where you can get ideas and content to write about. You've got Blog Search, you've got BuzzSumo, you've got Alltop, which shows you what's trending at the moment, news blogs if you really want to write about the news. You've got something called QuickSprout. Now, QuickSprout isn't actually a place where you'll get content from, but it's owned by a gentleman called Neil Patel. And Neil Patel is a phenomenal blogger and has earned an awful lot of money. Sign up to QuickSprout, and what they do is you give them the authority to go into your Google Analytics, and they look at how your blog posts doing, what traffic you're getting to it, etc., etc., and they give you advice on how to get more leads, how to get more traffic, and things like that. So it's really worth looking at and researching. Then you've got the Clartu blogging system, which is the blogging platform that I use and has, made me money and made a lot of people who are part of it money. And because it's more than just a blogging system, it can take your business to a completely different level. Whether you have a business or whether you want to start a business, it can take it to levels that other blogging systems can't take it. Then you've got the Facebook and the Skype links are actually the links where you can contact myself. And what I'll actually do is all those people who have emailed me, who are watching the webinar now, I will send the recording to, so you can click onto these websites, these links straight away. Anyone watching on YouTube, as this is going out to YouTube as we speak, if they want a copy of the recording so they can, have it there and access the these links also, shoot me up a message on YouTube under the video and I will send you a copy. And while I was before I finish, what I want to do is to invite you to the next webinar, which is next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and it's going to be setting up your blog. I've had a lot of people who have said, Debbie, I don't know where to start setting up a blog. I don't know where to go, what to do. Now, I can only train people on how to set up a Clartu blog because that's what I use. It is WordPress based, but it is the one that I use. So, I can teach you how to set that up, even though it is a fabulous tool and gives you all the instructions to set it up within the system. I understand that people learn differently and like to have, have interaction with other people, like to hear a voice teaching them the step-by-step way of setting up. So that's what next week's webinar is going to be. So I shall put that out on Facebook towards the end of the week with the link for you to get involved. So that's the end of the webinar. I'll just stop sharing my page and come back to you. Just bear with me till I get rid of my slideshow. And there we go. Hi there. And I just want to say a huge big thank you for all of you who signed up to the webinar, to all of you who are out there watching it on YouTube, and would love your feedback on the value you have received from tonight's webinar. So thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. And it's good night from me. That's Debbie from Debbie Debonair. Take care, and I'll be with you very soon.